Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio, the podcast for all things Mecha. Jumpship incoming.
All right. Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio, episode 22.
22? Question mark.
22 with confidence.
All right. So we are in the midst of contagion, and we are still here recording for you guys, though.
Yes.
Not that we have to be anywhere near each other to do this, so it's not too much. It's not too much out our way to do this for you guys.
Yeah, it's not like we've ever recorded together anyway, so
it's true.
We can socially distant.
We should have did it at Gen Con last year, where we were just. It's too busy.
Yeah,
it was busy.
So, all right. Well, what do you guys say? You guys ready to jump into the Jumpship? We're in the Jumpship. You guys ready to go to the Dropship?
I'm Rob.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, we have to do intro still?
I got to go first.
Sure, why not?
All right, so that was Rob. Brian.
I'm Brian.
Pat, and I'm Pat.
There you go.
And now we'll move on to the Dropship.
This pandemic is hitting us hard, guys.
Yeah.
Dropship landing.
All right, and welcome to the Dropship. This is the things we are working on.
We should have a lot of time now, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have a lot of time. So, Brian, why don't you start us off? What have you been working on lately?
So, as listeners may remember from last episode, there was a lot of packing involved, which means that since then, like, all of my paints and brushes and all of my crafting gear is packaged up, waiting for the move next month. I'm about 30 days out from recording this, actually, to when I move out.
You're too efficient is your issue.
Yeah, wow. 30 days and you're already packed up. Jeez.
Yeah, it should be like the day before.
Like, stuff is packed up. I'm not completely packed up. So, I've burned through all these boxes of, stuff for models and figures and painting gear and everything, trying to separate things into, okay, this is stuff that I will actively work on. This is stuff going into deep storage. All that kind of stuff. And, I've just about finished all of that. And now I'm getting to, all my books and and all sorts of other stuff and, how to sorting clothes and whatnot. So, I am a little bit ahead of it as far as, preparing to pack, but, at the end of it, I'm I got a whole bunch of boxes filling up my apartment already, and I'm maybe 10% packed.
Wow.
So I have a lot of stuff.
All right.
And I'm moving into a place with one other person, so a lot of my stuff is going to be packed.
Oh, boo.
But that's okay. Eventually it will get to come out again.
So you've been working on packing, is what you've been saying.
I'm working on packing.
Nice. All right, Rob. Let's move on to you then.
Well, I got some stuff at C2E2, and both these things actually came in a mystery box from Bluefin Brands, and I made my first 30-minute missions Gundam. It's a Porta Nova. They're really basic Gundams that you're supposed to add stuff to, and it came with an add-on pack, but it was for a different one, so I have to buy another one now. But it's pretty cool still. It's a little guy. And I also got an HD Camphor Amazing, so that was really cool. He's one of my favorites, nice. The Camphor. So he's got those big guns, and I like him a lot.
You got that good model. I did not get that good model.
Yeah, I like the Camphor. So that's the two I put together so far. I have a lot more, but we'll talk about that in our C2E2 recap. But yeah, I also did some airbrushing on my Marauders stunt bot that's been sitting on my desk for months. So
nice.
I got a little bit more paint on that, which hopefully I'll with this self-imposed quarantine, I'll get finish those models on my desk. Because I have quite a few that I just want to get rid of because they've been sitting there for literally a year.
Do you think you'll submit to Brush with Death? Now that that's kind of an online competition?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll see how I turn out. There's going to be some stiff competition on that one, but it might be just fun to put on there. Yeah, unfortunately, Adepticon is not happening now, so I wasn't going anyways.
A lot of cons aren't happening.
Yeah, but the one everybody was going to is not happening, so we no longer can hang out with anybody, but hopefully Gen Con will still be happening by then, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's end of summer, but at this rate, we don't know. But other than that, I'm sure I'll get a lot more done before the end of these couple weeks of quarantine, so I'll hopefully get more paint on things. And Pat, what have you been up to?
Well, like you, I also put together my Gundam 30-minute mission because it was teeny and easy to do.
30 minutes, supposedly.
30 minutes. It took me 29 and 45 seconds, so. But I did not check to see if my optional armor kit was the one for mine, like you had asked me to.
Yeah, mine was the wrong one, so I was curious if we got each other's.
So, I don't think we did, though, because we did switch bags.
No, but I wonder if they... It was just random. Once again, it was a random box. I think it was $45 for $90 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was pretty fun.
It was good. It was a good deal.
We'll talk about that in the C2E2, though, I guess.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
I've primed my Thundercracker.
Oh, Thundercracker.
And that's as far as I got with that.
And you prime it all in pieces, right?
Yes.
So you paint it before you assemble it.
Yes.
Very interesting.
I only do that with the plastic model kits. I don't do that with my figure kits or when I do my miniatures that way. It's a bit weird.
Well, it's usually with a model kit. It is usually color coordinated, anyways. The plastic is usually that way.
I mean, I think most of the time because these kits are for all intents and purposes snapped together.
Do you actually snap them together, or do you glue
them? Sometimes, since I've been pinning them this way, I've been snapping.
Really?
And then the ones that are loose, I glue.
I always glue. I'm a gluer.
Yeah. If I put it together and it doesn't feel like it feels jinky, I glue it.
Yeah. You get them back apart and then glue it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, there you go.
So, so I didn't get too much done because we had C2E2, and then I had to go right back into work after that. And then that happened, and then Adepticon was coming up, and then that got canceled.
Yeah, you were doing all this work for Adepticon, and then it ends up not happening.
Yeah, and then, it turns out that canceling Adepticon gave me more work.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a lot of phone calls and emails, so.
I imagine.
But I'm looking forward to finish Thundercracker because I would like to get all these guys done, and I'd like to get to Constructicon, which we'll talk about in the next segment.
Yes, Devastator.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's it. I did enjoy the 30-minute mission little robot. It was a nice little kit to kind of just plug through and get together, and I'm kind of interested in getting some extra things for it. If this kit is that extra armor pack is not the one for my chassis.
It probably is. I think you had the regular one. I have a Portanova, which is like the Xeon one, kind of. It's got the Xeon head.
I had the Portanova, but mine was gray and yours was brown.
Did you have a Portanova too?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So it might not be the right kit because it was the one I have is for the, what is it called? I forget the other kits are called. It's right here. They are for the Alto, and it's more of the GM looking thing. The Alto looks like a GM, where like I said, the Portanova looks more like a Xeon thing.
I can look. Hold on for a second.
I'm not even sure if they're. I don't think these are from any show. They just kind of like chassis that it's more for Gunpla, kind of make your own armor and buy your own kits. I don't think it's from any particular show.
No, this is definitely Gunpla. How did you know what yours is for? Mine says OP2.
It says right on it. If you
Alto exclusive orange.
Yeah, see, mine's Alto too. So yeah, if yours are Portanova, though, it won't work for it. We'll have to buy some Altos.
All right.
Once again, these are relatively cheap too. I think they end up being about $20 for these kits. So they're not horribly expensive. So might get some more just for fun.
They're also choking hazards.
Well, all Gunpla's choking hazard. They're all little teeny pieces.
So, but it was fun to put together. Nice and quick. I didn't even paint it. I just put it together.
Yeah, they come pre-colored, so.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, all right, let's move on to the ComStar then.
Yeah, hopefully we get some more stuff, Brian.
Message from ComStar.
All right, welcome to the ComStar, folks. We are going to talk about some things that we have done, read, watched, played in this little segment here. So, Rob, why don't you kick us off this time since we have a lot to talk about?
Sure. First thing, they announced some new mini tech from Kids Logic. They're going to have the Veritech VF1D, the Robotech or Macross Heavy Missile Battle Pod set of 3. I like how they do all the battle pods in sets of 3. And also a Zentradi Heavy Battle Armor, which is awesome because it's actually scale Zentradi too, so you can have them fight in your Veritechs, which I think is awesome. So I'm really excited about those. Who knows when they're going to happen? Because
the thing looks really sweet.
Yeah, they're with the whole coronavirus. Unfortunately, it's all delayed about production because they're a Hong Kong company, so it's all going to be up in the air when these actually go on sale. But they say 2020, so hopefully we'll be getting these. They were planning a break anyways, so I think this all worked out for them. You could tell that they're really excited about the line though, because they can't help but keep showing things off, even when it's not going to be for a while. They have to show it off because they're so excited about the stuff they're making. It's nice. It seems like they're just a small company, Kids Logic. It doesn't seem like they're a huge company, so it's fun.
They look good.
Yeah, the detail on those are great. Have you had a chance to look at the ones you got, Pat?
I did, but I did not do much with them either.
You haven't assembled them yet? Yeah, They're all resin, which means they're pretty delicate, but they're really sharp detail.
Yeah, and I gotta get my nips out and my files. And
hey, keep it PG here, Pat.
I gotta get my nippers out and my files and contribute to my lung cancer with the resin inhaling.
Yeah, just don't actually eat it.
Be careful with that.
He also airbrushes like inside, so. His lungs are screwed. Other than that, Pat and I were at C2E2, which is in Chicago, the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo. Yes, that's what it means.
Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo, yeah.
So we were there for Mantic doing some Hellboy stuff, but we definitely got a lot of chance to get some kits, model kits. Bluefin Brands, part of Bandai, was there, so we jumped in there a few times. And they did. Yeah.
Rob did more than I did.
They did have, mystery kits, plus they had all the Seekers I wanted. Actually, they didn't have Starscream originally. And so I got the other two. And then I in a mystery pack, I actually got another Thundercracker. So I was going to paint that as, Starscream. But then I went back later and Starscream was there, so now I got 4 Seekers. I have all the 3 originals plus an extra Thundercracker, which I'm going to paint maybe as Acid Storm. I haven't decided yet. If anybody has an idea which Seeker I should paint it as, let me know in the comments. So I got 4 of the 3 Seekers, so I have more. And in those kits, once again, we got in those mystery boxes. I think we bought 2 of them, and we end up getting extra.
Yeah, we tried to get the other bags. There was 3. There was A, B, C.
Yeah, it sold out pretty quick. There was also some mini Star Wars kits, like some prequel stuff, I think.
No, they were both, because what I got in mine was a Resistance X-Wing.
Oh, and I think I got a prequel
Jedi ship.
Yeah, one of the Jedi ships.
Nice.
Give it to Pat because Pat likes those stuff.
They were 1/144th, I think, real tiny.
Yeah, it's cool. I think you had some other ones like that. You had before, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I think one of my X-Wing kits came with it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With the small one.
It came with a big one and a small one, that's right. What else? What else happened there? It was, I did post some pictures of the Bluefin brands, area. Yeah, Pat got shot in the head by a Gundam.
That's right.
Plus, there's a lot of nice kits on display. Pretty cool. Like, pretty much everything you ever wanted was in there. They had a lot of nice stuff. Yeah, but I stuck to the Transformer ones I wanted. I didn't buy any Gundams other than the random one I got in the kit, in the bag. A lot of cool stuff, though. Chicago in general, it's great. I love going because you get lots of good food, except for at the con, which was some bad food.
Well, it was horrible food at the con.
Except for the pretzels. Pretzels were good, but that was about it.
Yeah.
It was fun times. I didn't get delayed either way. I only caught the coronavirus on the way home.
It's true. You probably had the best chicken wings and steak soul bowl you ever had.
Yeah, that's right. A place called Crisp. And, yes, I didn't get coronavirus. I did get a terrible cough, and it was bad, but that was pre-coronavirus disease. I got out of there just in time, actually. All hell broke loose about a week later, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It escalated quickly.
Yes, it did. Other than that, I finally got a look at the Robotech RPG. Pat had my copy at his place. Really nice, faux leather stuff and beautiful packaging. I'm kind of excited to go through that and check that out. I think that's about it. Battletech, I think we talked about that before, but Battletech is done. They finally put out their last update. So Battletech video game is going to be no more. Well, you can still play it, but no more updates.
Not no more. I mean, maybe it'll be on hold for a little bit, right? They'll kind of come back and revisit it.
I would think if they come back, I would hope that they're going to do like Clan Invasion or something else. I don't think they're going to continue with this one.
God.
We need some games with more clan stuff anyways. Because even the other, the MechWarrior game takes place way before. So, yeah, I think that's all I got. Who wants to go next? Pat? You might as well talk about C2E2 from your angle.
Yeah, we'll continue with that. So, got my mixture boxes. Actually, Rob got my mixture boxes since I was angry at Bluefin.
It's because they denied you entry early.
It wasn't even that they denied me entry. It was the way the guy was acting that just kind of put me off.
One person ruins his whole day.
It's not ruin my own, just kind of. But, it's just there's a certain etiquette that happens in these cons, and when some of these yahoos that show up
Yahoo
don't figure it out, it just puts me off.
Mm-hmm.
It's, we're all there working, we're all there. We only all have a limited amount of time, and there's no need to be a PG word. I don't know what a PG word is.
A dick?
Stupid poo-poo head.
That's a G word.
Poo-poo head.
To the other vendors, I mean, if you're not ready to let anyone, just say, yeah, sorry, but don't.
He was distracted, I think. It was the second day, and they had, I think, had a big rush the first day.
So, but I eventually got over it and went in there on Sunday. Was it Sunday I finally went in there?
Yeah, that's what you got. Well, by then you already had Devastator, because I picked that up for you.
Yeah, because you went in right away. I mean, see, that you got in early, like...
The first day I got in early, yep.
Yeah, with the retail, like most places do, let retailers in a little bit earlier.
It was the second day. I think they had just been beat up so bad the first day, they had a lot to redo. I think they were just busy. Because there was lineups for that place. Like, we just kept getting lucky. We'd go when there was no lineup, but generally that place had a lineup around the whole place.
Yeah.
Because,
but Rob, go ahead.
I was just going to say the P Gundam, the perfect grade Japanese stuff was in that same area, and that had a lot of people in that area checking that stuff out, because you could win one, so there was a lot of competitions going on and stuff.
Yeah.
That was some beautiful stuff, too.
Yeah, definitely. And then you picked up the Devastator for me, which is one of the things I wanted to get at C2E2.
Yeah, the guy when I bought it said that I had the very first Devastator in North America, and I said it's not for me.
So I had the very first Devastator in North America.
Yep.
So chalk one up for a Mobile Armor Radio win.
Woohoo!
But you went on Sunday. You picked up Darth Vader, didn't you?
I did. So then on Sunday, I went and picked up some of the Bandai Star Wars figurine model kits. So I picked up Darth Vader from, Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
You can take his helmet off, or you can put.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You can get the Anakin Skywalker with the scar across his face. Yeah, not the
old Anakin, not the young Anakin.
Yeah, replacement. So, I haven't actually messed around with that kit yet, but it's a no paint kit, I think, right? Because it's all vinyl.
I believe, yeah. At least the very least, the face I know has got that 3D printing, like where they do print the faces on the. So it's really accurate, which I love. Those. A lot of the action figures have that now, where the likenesses are really good now because they have this technology that prints the face right onto the plastic instead of hoping some poor sweatshop is painting it correctly and getting the eyes cross-eyed and stuff.
So hopefully I got a couple days of work coming up here, and then I'm off for Adepticon again.
Not Adepticon.
For Adepticamp, and then maybe I'll play around with that Darth Vader model. What else did we do? We drank a lot of.
Oh, we played a lot of games. Bills. We never talk about the games we played.
Oh yeah, we did play a lot of games. But first, let's get things we bought. One of the things you forgot to mention, Rob, is that we picked up the WizKids Transformer resin.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did that. That wasn't at C2E2. That was at your local game store. But yeah,
during that week you were here.
Yeah, we got the Transformers. Was there 3 of them? 4 of them?
No, we got all 4. There's Bumblebee, Optimus,
Starscream, Megatron,
and Megatron. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty neat. They're super cheap. They're $5 each. So
yeah, they were the Gen 1 looking Transformers. So Bumblebee has the cars on his feet.
And they actually just announced the Wave 2 ones, which is. They just recently they've announced what's coming out in Wave 2. I can't remember. I know it's Ironhide and who else was it? I think Soundwave.
Jazz.
Let's see.
I'm just guessing.
No, it's what we got here. Oh, it's
my guess will always be Jazz.
No, it's RC, Frenzy, Soundwave, Laserbeak, and Ironhide.
Laserbeak? Why not what's the wolf?
Yeah, Ravage. Yeah,
Ravage.
He's amazed. Yeah, it's kind of odd choice. I think Laserbeak and Frenzy will be in the pack together, because then it's, maybe not, because there's 4. Yes, because it would be RC, Ironhide, Soundwave, and then Laserbeak and Frenzy in one together, I think, because they'll be smaller.
Yeah.
So that's good, a good set there. RC, I can see why they added her, just so they get some female representation, and she is the only female Autobot, really, so. Ironhide's a weird choice. I wouldn't choose Ironhide. I would choose maybe.
Well, he was big in the movies. That's probably why.
I don't know. Who would I choose? Hound, or Jazz, or
Scatman Crothers.
What's the cop? What's his name? I can't remember.
He was Jazz, I think.
No, Jazz was he was the race car. One of the race cars. What's his name?
Barricade?
He's one of the cops. That's not the same one. He's the other one.
Right.
I can't remember. Anyways,
I'm not even that well versed on.
I'm a bad Transformers fan. Hot Rod, they could have done.
Yeah,
I'm sure that they're going to make more of these. So.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It did take a while to get Wave 2 out, though. It's kind of strange that it took so long to. I would think they'd be pumping them out like they do with the D&D ones. WizKids puts out. They put out or Pathfinder or no, it's D&D, isn't it? They put out thousands of those things.
Yeah. So, at the WizKids, what else did we pick up?
Well, we got more of our Monster Apocalypse. I got the powered armor guys, and I had actually traded you for some more of the tanks and the planes. Yep. So I got a lot of Monster Apocalypse.
Because we played a game of Monster Apocalypse, which was a fun game. I really do like the mechanic of the dice pools where whenever you activate the monster, the dice moves into the minions pool.
Yeah, you can't just activate the monster or the heroes. You have to go back to the minions to the back and forth, which is fun. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, we obviously didn't have enough to play. Like we had the bare minimum. You could see how it'd be a lot more interesting with a lot more guys on the field.
With a lot more minions, yeah. Or even a little couple monsters. So
yeah.
But it was nice throwing Rob in a body slam.
Yeah, he kept whipping me around. Trying to smash me into the buildings or smash me into my own guys. That was his,
I was King Kondo.
Yeah, and I was the giant robot guy. His guard, what's his name? I can't remember. Crusader X? Something
like that.
Defender X? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was a fun game, yep.
And we played some in the more mech category, we played some GKR. Rob's first time playing GKR.
Yeah, I snuck out a win on that one. I don't know how I won. My guys spray painted fast. That was fun. Yeah, you concentrated on killing my guys, where I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to run over here and spray paint.
Well, no, I was just trying to get rid of your thing so you wouldn't spray paint as fast.
Yeah. It was fun. It's, it was, the models are amazing. That's, the buildings, the paper buildings cardboard buildings come with it aren't great, and I was trying to convince Pat to 3D print some, plastic buildings. Because they're a little fiddly, the paper buildings I found.
Yeah.
Actually, same with Monster Apocalypse too, actually.
If Gen Con happens, I'll just buy the plastic buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, they do come out with a kit with them. We also played SDF-1, Attack on the SDF-1, which I liked a lot. That was fun.
That was a nice little castle defense game.
Yeah, you're pretty much running around trying to defend the different sectors as random amounts of Zentradi are attacking from all different areas.
But you're playing the story. We played the very first couple chapters of Robotech where the SDF-1 opening day gets attacked and then it gets sent to, where do you go, Pluto or Jupiter?
Yeah, and you end up at Mars, and it was
Mars. That's right. I always get confused with.
Well, I think they jump really far away.
Yeah, they go to Jupiter first, I think, and then they end up at Mars.
Yeah, I always get them confused where they jump to with space battleship Yamato, where they jump to Pluto.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. How does that play with two people?
It's fine. Like we were playing two guys each. We had two, so it was actually four heroes.
Yeah.
I was who was I? Lisa and Roy, I think.
Yes.
And you were Captain Global and
Claudia.
Yeah, we didn't use a Rick. But it was it was fun. It's really once again the only
it was very much co-op, and then
you have to figure out who goes where,
who gets the most action points, and action points are based on the population, so you got to try and keep the population alive while when you're allocating damage to SDF-1.
That's why Claudia's good, because she repairs stuff. But once again, the only problem with that game is the SDF-1 itself. It's made out of cardboard, and it's kind of flimsy when you transform, and you have to move them around a bit. Where, if you could 3D print one of those bad boys or get the model, it'll be great. That was the only problem with that game I found. Because everything else is, they did.
Well, I also had the upgraded acrylic character kit, so that also takes away less cardboard. So if you happen to get, or anywhere that can get the acrylic upgrades for that game, you should get that, because they are superior, much better than the cardboard ones that come in the game. Really,
to have miniatures all over the board would be fun, but it's not big enough, I don't think. You have to get like 15 millimeter, like small versions. You couldn't do the ones that we're getting from Kids Logic. They're too big. You'd have to get a very big board if you're going to do that. Be kind of cool.
Because you have to draw a lot of ships.
Yeah. You need a lot of ships, and just don't have space in the little sectors for everything. And you're getting like huge Zentradi like warships coming in, and you have to use your rail guns from the ship to blow them up. But you have to. It's all about facing too, so you got to move the ship around, which it's really fun. And it is like a tower defense. So you're running around trying to. Okay, I got to go do this. Oh, I got to go heal this person. Roy's good at moving guys around, so yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
I'll try to make sure my copy doesn't fall into that deep storage I talked about.
Yeah, and it's solo or total co-op, so it's fun that way.
Yeah, that's something you could definitely play with your future misses.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, it's very board game too.
Because it's very board gamey and it's very co-op.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's not a miniatures game at all. Like I would like to be a miniatures game, and I think you could modify it to be a miniatures game, but out of the box, it's a board game.
Cool.
Fun though, really fun. We played Cyberpunk card game, which was fun.
Played the Crossfire.
Shadowrun Crossfire. Yep, that was fun. Do we play any other mech games? I don't think so.
Apocalypse, EKR. We were going to play Giga Robo, but we did not.
No, we never did play Giga Robo, did we? Yeah, I think that's it. And we never played Cav. We were planning to play Cav. We just ran out of time.
Yeah.
We were trying to squeak in the all-us game playing. We got it in before C2E2 because afterwards we were so tired we couldn't do much of anything. So
yeah,
we got it all in a couple days when I first got there. But it was fun to play a bunch of games. We had to get a lot in there. So
yeah, sounds like it.
Anything else, Pat?
I can't think of anything else. We got the Whiz Kids. We got Chris.
Yeah, Chris was awesome.
If you want a list of things we're to eat in Chicago, you want to go to Chris. You want to go to Pequod's Pizza. What else did we got?
Peace was good.
Another Peace Pizza. That's owned by the guitar player from Cheap Trick. And Fat Willie's Barbecue.
Yeah, we go to Fat Willie's every time. And it's filling. And it smells so good when you get in there. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
We did that early. And I don't think I've ever finished a meal there. I've always had leftovers.
So, all right. That was a very fulfilling ComStar.
What about Brian? Brian, have you done stuff?
Brian, did you do anything?
Yeah, sure.
Come on, I know you got some TV things you got going on.
Just some tangentially related stuff. I've been watching the newest season of Star Wars Clone Wars.
Nice.
I got a couple episodes in. I'm a little bit behind, but that's been pretty fun. The animation is quality is way up, but they're still using the old kind of art style that was common in the Clone Wars, as opposed to things really got a facelift with Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah.
But it's still that old Clone Wars kind of look and feel, and it's been really cool.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to start that yet. I once again, that's on my list of things to do this couple weeks. That'll be on there.
It will be nice. I will say it is nicer to binge it. I think because there's still the little half-hour episodes, and it's still hey, you're getting one little glimpse into this, several story or episode arc. And so when that first episode ended, and that first week, it was just and now we wait.
Oh, it's not all out at once?
No, it's Disney Plus, so...
Yeah, Disney Plus is on that
weekly drop.
Yeah, same with CBS too, with the Picard and everything.
See, I got lucky with Mandalorian. I just waited, and then I just watched them all back to back.
Yeah, it is that fascinating thing where it was a big plus for a lot of content. With Netflix and stuff, it was a great way to say, hey, you don't have to wait. Was a big selling point, and now that the big players are shouldering their way in, they're yeah, we're actually going to keep doing things as usual.
Yeah, Disney's we don't drop things all at once.
No, why? Because your subscription could run out.
Yeah.
Before you could just renew it for one show and then be gone. We want you for the whole thing.
Yeah, we're going to keep it at least a couple months, so you have to keep watching.
Yeah. Apart from that, I will say, I'll throw in there, I finished reading one of the Mass Effect books. It was the Mass Effect Andromeda Annihilation, I think was the name of the book. It's a spin-off for the kind of flubbed Mass Effect Andromeda game, the latest one.
Where they just screwed up the ending?
Not that one.
Oh.
This was the one that they really kind of flubbed the launch. There were some weird animation glitches. It was kind of an incomplete game.
I don't know if I even knew that one existed then. I thought the last one was the one that they screwed up.
Yeah, everyone says they screwed up maybe, but yeah, this was the newest game and it did not go great. And so the remaining content that they were hoping to put into like future iterations of that game, they've for the most part been ported over to books. Yeah. And so the long and short is like a lot of the species are sent off in these arcs to go explore a new galaxy 600 years away. So it kind of it gets them away from the events of the third and final like main trilogy game, so they can really do their own thing.
That's neat.
And one of the arcs was talked about that it was still on its way, and that's what the Annihilation book was about, was the last arc. Interestingly enough, a big topic of it was a viral outbreak on a cryo ship.
Was it Princess cryo ships?
No. But it was a good read. I really liked it. It kind of reminded me of the things I really enjoyed about that game. It wasn't as awful as people I think say it is, but it's also it was not as standout as the original trilogy. Yeah. But it's definitely worth checking out now that they really patched up a lot of the problems that it had.
That's the problem with a lot of those big games. If they come out and they get bad publicity, a lot of people give up on them.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, it's just some teething problems at the beginning, and they'll get fixed.
And I do think that that may have pushed back any future plans for the Mass Effect franchise when that one kind of failed at launch for a while. So hopefully, and then the last thing, also kind of a tangent. I finished playing Kingdom Hearts 3, and the only way this kind of gets looped in is that it has a Big Hero 6 level.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
nice.
It's a fun game. I will say though, all the Disney worlds you explore really don't contribute much to the plot, which then hits you like a sledgehammer at the end. Where it's just and here's all the story that we actually wanted to be telling you.
Yeah, we forgot to mention this is what's happening.
Yeah, now that we've gone through all the Disney stuff, it's here's the Square Enix part of the story. So, that was a fun ride. But other than that, I'm kind of, like I've mentioned multiple times, I'm in the process of the move, so a lot of my media is getting packed up and sifting through things to read and play and watch next. So, figuring that out yet. But yeah, that's me. A lot shorter than your guys.
Wow, we had a convention that we went to. Normally, next one would have been all about Adepticon, but that's not going to happen now.
Yeah, I was definitely looking forward to that. I will say I am still planning, like I mentioned Brush with Death earlier, I am planning to submit a couple of my, the Marauder team that I painted up, for a couple of those competitions, which will be the first model painting competition I've ever entered, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right. So let's move on down to the MechBay Hanger now then.
Now entering the MechBay Hanger.
All right, welcome to the MechBay. Here we are going to discuss today mechs in the model building hobby kind of a thing. What we like to build, styles that we paint. Do you paint them? Things like that. Rob, you want to give this a start?
I do not paint them. Although I will be. Now that I do have that Thundercracker I have to turn into Acid Storm, I will be jumping into the painting of the model kits. But generally, I don't even put stickers on them. I might line them. I do put stickers. If there's, I don't like decals. I find decals are such a pain in the ass that I just don't bother. If they have stickers, I'll throw stickers on them, but generally I don't. And, yeah, I might panel line. That's about it. But, with this new, Transformer, I'm gonna have to jump in. I have to get some fluorescent green paint, though. I don't have any paint for her.
That's true. You can do that, Pro Acrylic, I guess, by Creature Caster.
Is it got some crazy colors?
Yeah, that's the stuff that James Walker uses.
To get his lighting effects?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find some really bright. If I do Acid Storm, he is very, very bright green, so.
So, I guess the question here is, what kind of models do you like to build in the mech scene? The problem with this question here is that the Gundam owns a lot of models, owns a lot of the model scene here, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it definitely does. I obviously I'm into the Transformer ones, right, the Furai models right now, but I actually wanted some Pacific Rim ones, but they didn't have any there. I really want to get some Pacific Rim models to do. I know Bandai makes them. I just got to find them. I have some Robotech or Macross models too that I made. I did the Cyclones armors. I have 2 of those, yes. And I have a Battloid of Rick's. What is that? The 1J? No, I can't remember.
1D?
Yes, Rick's. Anyways, yeah. So I have some of those, but generally I have like hundreds of goddamn Gundams. Too many Gundams.
Well, you're not a huge painter then, huh?
No, I don't. I generally don't paint them. I did. You did give me some Battlestar Galactica ones, which I am painting because they weren't painted. So that's the thing with Bandai is they come pre-colored, so you don't have to paint them. Like the Bandai kits they look great as is. You don't have to do anything to them. All the colored plastic.
Yeah, it's true, but
well, you go the other way. You go crazy like you did with your Zeong paints and panels lining and highlighting and.
I'm just into the models, you know what I'm saying?
You like the painting aspect. I like the building aspect. What about you, Brian? Do you paint your miniatures?
Well, for the ones that I game with, I try to get them painted.
Well, yeah.
But a lot of the just stand-up kits that I've got, I mostly just go with, especially like the Gundam ones are just out of the box. Some of the SD kits will come with the stickers, like just simple stickers to put on, and I'll do that. Because again, I like the SD ones, because they don't take up a lot of space.
Yeah, they're small.
I think they're just kind of fun interpretations of it. They're not. I think the big part is that they don't take up as much space.
Well, that's what I recently did. The Master Grade Death Scythe, it is freaking huge. It takes up half my shelf. I couldn't imagine having a Master Grade collection. It's just too big.
Yeah, and like with that too, like it is kind of, I love like highly detailed models, but like with the SD stuff, it is kind of fun that because there's less detail of it, it looks less shabby when I don't have like any kind of extra painting or anything put on it. That
it's almost like that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. There it is. Yeah.
So would you say SD is kind of your as far as Gundam stuff is concerned? I mean, SD is the kind of your go-to kit.
Yeah, I've put together a lot more SD kits than I have. I think I've got one high grade kit that I've put together.
That's very interesting because Rob, you're mostly high grade kits, right?
Well, that was mostly because of Gundam loot. That was what I was getting. I when I buy for myself, I tend to get. I think I'll go for Master Grade, but I probably have 100 high grade kits.
Yeah, and then we float to me. Then I'm almost all exclusively Master Grade kits.
Yeah, you like the big one, but you also have more room to display things.
Yeah.
But you also take your time with your kits too. You'll paint on like all the symbols. You'll paint instead of using the decals. You'll paint everything on, which is crazy. You're crazy.
But yeah, like painting like miniature models, I really enjoyed, and doing stuff like that where they don't necessarily have a required paint scheme. I think that would be the thing with me too with painting. Like the high grade kits even and stuff like that is there's that part of me that's always kind of that perfectionist when it comes to doing that kind of thing, so I'd want it to look picture perfect. and my skills are definitely not at that point yet. So that's where it's been kind of fun with the conversions and stuff I've been doing to like my Dead Zone models, is like in that way I can make them look like these Gundams and stuff like that, while at the same time having enough like freedom of interpretation that if it's not perfect, I can just say, well, it's because the model looks weird or doesn't quite fit.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where it's been a really fun creative space in that respect.
See, I kind of enjoy like trying to copy like when I did my my Rick Hunter one, I liked looking at the picture and okay, this is where the paint goes, and I kind of enjoyed kind of recreating the actual miniature. Even on I have some of the Robotech Tactics ones, and I painted those up like Skull Squadron or whatever, and it was fun doing all the little details. Well, it's once again I'm not a perfectionist, so I don't have to have it perfect, but it is. I like the challenge of like recreating it. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of both. I'm kind of a perfectionist. Yeah, which is why I think
You're not so much perfectionist. You're just detail oriented. You're able to sit there for months and just do detail. Where I just don't have that kind of patience.
So like on that note, like what do you guys use for painting like the high grade kits and stuff? Because the miniature models that I do with Dead Zone and stuff, I really just kind of have basic acrylic stuff, but I go through the process of priming and, putting down some base coats and stuff like that. Do you guys use, different model paints than you say like use for miniature painting?
No, I use basically the same things, but I do airbrush more with these model kits than I would, in a 28 mil miniature. We spoke earlier I think it was in ComStar, right?
Dropship, I think it was, actually.
It was a segment or two back.
Yeah.
How I literally prime each piece individually, and I paint each piece individually before I put it together.
Unlike you would do with a model or a miniature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I once again, from the Gundam loot, I got tons of the Mr. Color, like Bandai Mr. Color sets. I had so many neat colors from that I've been using those a lot for my model kits, because they have, they're made for Bandai kits, so they have specific colors that are made for that. And also, they're kind of cool. They're not acrylic. They are, what's the other kind?
Enamel.
Enamel, yes, they're enamel.
They're enamel.
Yeah, so it's almost like testers paints, right? Like old testers. But these mix a lot nicer and cover a lot nicer than testers paints.
Whereas I still use a lot of Vallejo and Reaper for brush painting onto the models, but when I airbrush, I use the Mecha when I can, and some
that's Vallejo too, though.
Stuff. Yeah, the Mecha's Vallejo, and that's actually Gundam specific too.
Yeah, they have specific colors for them too.
Yeah,
like when I'm doing a model, unless I have a certain color I want to do, I tend to use acrylic paints. I use a mix sometimes, but with airbrush, it's definitely acrylics. You're going to use acrylics. I would be very scared to put a enamel through my airbrush. I know you could do it, but I imagine how hard that would be to clean. I don't even want to think about it.
Well, you just got to run your thinner through it. I mean, just like anything else. So,
it's so much.
Like I put those ghost tints right there through my airbrush.
Yeah, I use a lot of those. Who is it? Tamiya ghost, like the smoke colors. I use those a lot.
Yes.
They're like clear coats that have different tints, which is I like them a lot. Especially with the red, if you keep layering on, it's a very candy red. You can make your things look like hot rods. And I did one of my mechs like that I got from who was that? Dream. They're gone now. That one company that was making knockoff 40K mechs.
Dreamforge or something like that?
Dreamforge, yeah. So I have a couple of those that I've painted just using the ghost tints and did a nice cherry.
I have a Zabi that I want when I'm going to get around to it. I want to ghost tint it red.
And I actually painted all my Starship Samurai mechs with the tints.
Oh, nice.
I use tints and Mr. Colors on those, so they're all like very metallic looking and shiny, and because I wanted a certain look for them. That's what I find when you use. You really have to gloss it up when you use acrylics, because they don't have any gloss to them at all.
No.
So
they're very matte finish for sure.
So that's once again I have from the Mecha. I do have their version of the clear coat, and it really glosses it up, and it's really nice. I've used that a few times.
What about kit wise then? What do you feel like you gravitate to? The Gundam kits themselves, or you try to get a little bit of everything?
Well, I'm pretty sick of the Gundam kits. I really don't want any more Gundam. I wouldn't have bought that camphor, but I got it for free. Well, I didn't get it for free, but I got it in a mystery box. I'm definitely looking for different kits. More Robotech. Like I said, I want some Pacific Rim if I can find it. I like mechs in general, just different mechs. I did get one of the giant ones from that Dreamforged before they went out of business, or before that. I think they switched to different resin or something now. One of their giant ones. I have one of those to paint up still too.
Yeah.
But I
the same way.
Yeah.
I feel like I got a lot of Gundams, but I like to mix them up, which is why I kind of play around with the Star Wars kits every once in a while.
Well, you have a lot of Battlestar. Yeah, you have a lot of Battlestar.
I picked up the Darth Vader just so I switched it up. I also even have a Matt Zinger Z.
Yeah, you did get that
kit that I need to build together, plus the 3 Cyclones. Oh, the list goes on.
Yeah.
The STF-1 with the Daedalus and...
yeah, that's another cool one to get. The actual...
oh, what's the other damn ship called? The Daedalus and the...
Prometheus?
Yeah.
Prometheus. On that kit.
The Fury ones are pretty cool, yeah. You've got a lot of those.
Oh, yeah. I've been building those Fury ones for a while now.
I don't know if I like the Seekers, but I'm not sure if I need any of the others. Yeah,
that being said, I still would love to get my hands on a perfect grade Xeon.
Nah. Perfect grade, I don't know.
Red Comet, man.
Yeah, the perfect grade are crazy. Like they
Red Comet or the Neo Xeon, I would do that thing. That right there would get 100%.
Even the Grandpa, the 78, the original Gundam there.
I have one. It's a
but perfect grade? Kit. Yeah, but perfect grade?
No, it's a master grade.
That'd be kind of cool. Something like classic like that, or even the gun cannon or those kind of things. That'd be kind of fun.
Now, Rob says he doesn't have the patience, but what about you, Brian? Do you feel like you said your skills aren't there, but are you trying to get your skills up? With say, I guess with the detail orient, Rob likes to say I do. Are you trying to do all the weathering and the chipping and all that stuff?
Not right now. Like there's I think things I'm going to take in steps to kind of get to that point. Like the contrast paints, I won't lie, have kind of given a little bit of fresh breath into my hobby time, because they streamline a lot of the process. I wouldn't say that I use them like as a crutch, but like, cause I still do like a base coat on everything, and then kind of think through the design, but it does really, help speed up the process.
Well, it's like any wash. So, it's, what do they call that? Liquid, talent. The washes, any washes are like that. Like I used to use the army painter washes and just the dark tones and stuff. And it really does pop a miniature the moment you put a wash on something.
Yeah. And I've used washes before. It's usually been that, I don't have a wide variety of washes. And so now with the contrast paints, I get the paint and the wash kind of combined. That's really helped a lot.
Secret Weapon is got all their stuff on sale. I think 20 to 40% off because of Adepticon.
They're like our buddy Jack. He swears by their Secret Weapon washes. They're washes though. They're definitely not like contrast paint. You can't paint with them. They're finishing things.
Actually, you can because I've done it.
That would take a lot of layers to get anything.
Actually, not really. If you Zenith,
yeah, I guess you did that way.
If you Zenith Prime, then it
but you're not getting a solid color like the contrast paints. It's solid color. Like I've seen the results. That's
no.
It's very different.
It's not paint. This is definitely a wash, and you're going to get the primer behind.
Yeah, you'll see that.
And that's what's going to change your shade.
Yeah, I like doing that too, but I mean, for the actual, like Brian was saying, you put the contrast down. That's everything in one go.
Yeah. And so like after that, I think the next big thing I want to try to tackle is painting more terrain. I've done like little objective kind of things, but like, I won't lie, like when I've got like all this dead zone scenery and stuff that's really, really cool looking. I have these, crazy ideas, like a lot of terrain from like Uncertain Scenery has some amazing, boards that you can build. And I won't lie though, like it's all MDF and I'm just like, I don't know where to start painting this, kind of stuff.
Airbrush.
And,
yeah, you need airbrush.
I don't have an airbrush.
Yeah, I would just get, especially for terrain, get one of those cheap airbrush kits. They're like $10 on Amazon because you're just painting terrain, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to have the detail on it.
Yeah,
and
you can get yourself
you
can get yourself a starter kit for like $90 off of Amazon that gives you a bunch of brushes on the compressor because the most expensive piece of that is the compressor.
Yeah, like or even. You can get cheap kits, and it's worth it for terrain for sure. They're not great for miniatures because they tend not to have the same detail. But when you're just trying to put like shade on it, airbrush is the way to go for terrain for sure. It is. You'll learn like to do the shading of panels and stuff, and shading of corners, and doing different tones and stuff. It's so much easier with an airbrush.
Yeah. And like I will say, like the dead zone ones in particular, they're like little 2-inch by 2-inch, blocks, like plates for the most part.
3-inch.
So
3-inch, yeah, 3-inch by 3-inch.
3-inch. Oh, sorry. And so like the face of that one is small enough that it kind of works for like I can just do it with regular model paint and stuff. So that's where I do want to experiment a bit more with doing like the weathering effects and things like that. That it would be very.
Well, it's a good place to start to practice, and then you kind of work from there.
Yeah. So it's kind of working through the building blocks of these different techniques, finding them in spaces where it makes sense before bringing them all together.
The Mecha line, once again, from Vallejo, they make a bunch of technical paints. I have like all different weathering stuff, like rust and oiled earth and like fuel spill and stuff, and you put them at the end, and it gives like a really cool like texture to everything. So that might be something to look at as a finishing touch.
Actually, you know what? Why don't you do this? Rob, why don't you list the things that you have that you use to paint?
Oh,
for some of our listeners.
That'd be a long list.
That can't be that long. Just the brands.
For priming, I use Stahl Rens from, I think who's it, Badger? Makes Stahl Rens?
Yes.
I think so. I use that as my primers.
It is Badger.
Yeah, so from airbrushing, I use those. They're great. They're covered. The white's not great, but the gray and black work really good. Any white primer sucks. It's just a fact of life. Yeah, I do have a lot of that mech color stuff for technical stuff. I didn't get any actual paints. I just got the clear coat and all the different textures. I do like textured paint. It's fun. Washes, I tend to use, Army Painter for my washes, but I do like the Tamiya ones if I want a nice, like, thicker and almost like a clear coat, like a candy coat on it. I did get a Vallejo wash recently. I haven't got a chance to use it, so I can't say how well that is. Army Painter is what I use mostly, really. Army Painter, and then the mech ones is the Mr. Color. That's my main ones. I know, Pat, you like the other one. What's the other company? Reaper.
Which one?
You like Reaper ones, don't you?
I do like Reaper.
They don't really make them anymore.
Yeah, no. As far as washes go, I use the Secret Weapon ones myself.
Yeah, Secret Weapon washes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so for my loadout, I guess as far as paints are concerned, airbrush I use a lot of Minotaur and Vallejo air colors with the Mecha. Regular paints I use quite a bit of Vallejo. I do have some Reaper and a couple P3. There's certain colors P3 makes it. They're really nice. Like their antique gold is really nice. And then I have a bunch of weathering pigments that I use. Most of those are MIGs and Tamiya. I got the an assortment of the Tamiya, what I like to call compact makeup cases. They're the ones that comes with the little sponge brush that you rub the pigment on the brush.
I do have some pigments too, yeah. I do have some pigments from Secret Weapons, actually.
Yeah, and pigments are kind of an advanced thing.
Yeah.
You gotta know how to use them, especially with the mineral spirits and stuff like that. But again, there's tons of video. When you get to that point, there's tons of videos you can watch and that can really make your mech take that next level.
What's that book you got too? Is it Combat, or what's the one from MiG?
It's Combat by MiG, yeah.
Yeah. Tells you how to do panels on mechs and stuff. Really cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that is that each artist takes you through a step-by-step, like on panel 1, he talks about how he did that one panel, or when I say panel, there's a set of pictures, and then they take you step by step through how they each one. And we've talked about this before in earlier episodes, but it is a really good book if you were really that interested in the weathering techniques that you learn from that combat book. Don't just apply to mech, so you can put them on anything else, like a tank, a vehicle, a car, a building. So these are good ways to kind of start upping your game when you get to the building aspect of when you're building mechs. Because, we were talking about things where we want to get to. Eventually, I want to get to the point where you posted, I forget who posted that picture of Macross Island.
Oh, that was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That diagram. I eventually want to get to something like that. That's where my goal is. I've been talking about the hanger. I still need to 3D print the rest of it, but that's kind of where I want to go. It would be awesome to actually have a hanger, the
Battlestar,
hanger diagram of a Battlestar laid out somewhere, even have a nice, Ironwind makes a couple pieces for it, but it would be nice to make a nice diorama of battle mechs or Battletech mechs in their, what do you want to call them?
In the dropships or whatever?
Or the dropships, or wherever they fix them in the mech bays.
The MechBay?
The MechBay Hanger.
And the MechBay. Wow, I can't believe that escaped me.
Speaking of different techniques, though, also panel lining. I learned that from doing Gundams, but I use that on miniatures all the time now. I do panel lining all the time.
Even if you're not that complex, panel lining will definitely step that model look up.
Yeah, because it looks like you've painted it, but you can use the Gundam markers, and it's once again cheating, which is nice. I like cheating.
I don't think using the markers cheating.
Well, it's a shortcut.
Not for panel lining.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had a marker, I probably would use it, but because I have a lot of black washes.
Yeah. See, the thing with the washes, it changes the tone sometimes. So I like the panel lining because you could just put it where you want it,
Yeah, well, I just put it in well, you haven't seen me, but I actually panel line with the wash.
I know, because you're crazy.
Yeah.
What about you, Brian? What kind of paints do you like using?
Well, for the most part, I've got a handful of GW stuff. Mostly have focused that on the contrast paints. But I got a lot of Army Builder, and it has kind of been my main go-to. I've got just a couple of Vallejo, I think. Everyone will be happy to learn that I've migrated away from my Meyer-bought acrylics.
Your Happy Orchard?
Yeah, I don't mind those. They're great for the apple barrel or whatever that you get from Michael's or Walmart. They're great for terrain, though. You need a lot of paint. You throw those on the terrain.
Oh yeah, when you need to cover a square footage, the cheaper the paint, the better.
Yeah, I get that stuff for that. It's the pigment level is not very high, but it's good for terrain or large bases or things like that.
And I will put it out there for all listeners. It's okay to start by getting most of your painting supplies from a general store.
100% okay.
It's a perfectly fine place to start. It's a very affordable way to start.
I started with tester paints when I was first doing miniatures, and they're terrible, but it's a way to start because they're easy to get.
I I mean, my priming paint is primarily like the Rust-Oleum.
Oh yeah, me too.
Spray paint.
If I'm priming with a spray can, it'll be Rust-Oleum or whatever Walmart brand, you know.
Yeah. And then I really just had like that kind of little squeeze tube art supply thing that came with like 24 colors for like $12,
mm-hmm.
and I painted that for like a good 2 years or so. As I slowly built up my collection of decent paints. So it's a great way to start, and then, you know, you basically start filling in those colors that you don't get out of those packs with, you know, the better paints, to kind of, as you step up. I think it's a very fine way, to do it. Of course, now I want to go back and repaint.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not repaint, but like
touch up.
I was thinking of like completely redoing in that I've got duplicates of the models.
Oh,
I'm like, I'm just going to redo the whole thing, not get rid of the old ones, but like
just
redo the color scheme.
That's the beauty of Mantic models. They're so cheap that you will have extras that you could just redo things.
And how? So, and then, you know, I don't have much in terms of, you know, I don't have an airbrush or anything like that. Mostly just plain old brushes.
What kind of brushes do you use, Brian?
I do have a couple of like the official Army Painter ones. I could not tell you the different numbers that they come in.
Yeah.
But then I do have just some regular, like decent, you know, acrylic hobby painting brushes. So,
see, I'm all about getting the cheapest brushes possible, because you're going to burn through them anyways, as long as they have a nice tip on them. Yeah. I know Pat likes his expensive $20 brushes, but
I do. I like the Windsor. I like the Windsor Series 7.
And so, like, to further emphasize this, like my water dish, my cup is a water bottle that I finished drinking that I cut in half. I've got a wet palette that's made up a little Tupperware container with a wet paper towel and some with the kind of wax paper or whatever they use for cooking sheets.
Yeah.
And with some water splashed in it, that like you can go pretty far on a simple budget.
Yeah, if you want to know how to make a wet palette, I know Uncle Adam. What's the name of his channel? Anyways, Adam Smasher.
Adam Smasher.
Yeah, he showed how to make a wet palette on the cheap.
That's where I got it.
James Wapples does the same thing. He uses a Chinese takeout bin.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's what mine was a long time.
And wax paper.
Mine was the sponge and the wax paper on top. I don't bother with wet palettes that much anymore. I just find I just use less paint. I just try not to blob it on. I have little tins that I put my paint in. But yeah, if you're painting a lot of stuff, wet palette's great because it keeps it wet and you don't have to worry about your paint drying out as you're trying to paint stuff. Especially if you're doing a whole army and you want to use the same color that you've mixed up, you definitely want to keep it wet.
If you want to see a crazy wet palette use, go to YouTube and type in James Wapple, Wappel, and watch any of his series on painting and just watch how he just mixes the paints. And there's a testament to cheap brushes. He actually uses just those 5-cent craft brushes that you can get at Hobby Lobby.
See, I knew I liked that guy.
Yeah, that guy, he's on a whole nother level.
I literally bought 100, I think they're size 1 or size 0. What are they? No, 50 size 00, which are the small points, for like $20 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Because they're disposable at that point. You don't have to worry about cleaning them.
That's one way to do it.
Right. So,
anything else we missed on the hobby end? Oh, glue.
I don't think so.
What about glue, guys? What do you use to glue your stuff together?
Well, I'm going to tell you the way to go, and I'm a big believer of this, is that if it's a hard plastic, you should be using plastic cement.
That only works on plastics, though.
Yes, hard plastics only. That's anything else.
No resins, no metals. Yeah.
Anything else? Super glue.
Just regular super glue, like crazy glue?
I like Gorilla super glue is my go-to.
Yeah, I use Gorilla Glue. I find Gorilla Glue sometimes it separates. You have to shake it a lot. If you've left it too long, it stops working well.
But I like the Testors, Model Masters plastic cement.
Yeah, you love that stuff because it has at least an applicator. And yet that applicator, you can get so little on there, you don't have, it's hard to control super glue because you tend to have to rip the top off constantly and it glues to itself. Yeah. Where that's plastic cement, that's you can get needle. Just a little teeny drop, which is what you need. And I am, after using it at Pat's, and I do like it. I just have to get some. It's hard to get in Canada for some reason. So, yeah. Brian, do you use just crazy glue? What do you use?
Yeah, pretty much like our hobby store has kind of that generic branded super glue. That's my main go-to. But I do remember back in the day, when I was first getting into like Warhammer and stuff, I vaguely I remember using the plastic cement as my main, and I think I remember actually gluing some metal plastic arms to metal. It didn't go great.
No, it doesn't actually work.
Yeah. I was like, well, but yeah, right now it's mostly been super glue. I do want to get some plastic cement though, just because I work a lot with hard plastic models, so it just kind of makes sense if I really want to seal and keep that shape and not risk breaking as much.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Also, that's hobby in the mech world. What we like to do, what we like to build. There's plenty of models out there that are not Gundams. Not that there's anything wrong with a Gundam model, because we all have our fair share.
Yeah, I love Gundams. It's just, once again, I just have too many of them.
Yeah. And I like to have a variety myself, too. And because there's so many other good anime-based modelings out there. Like, I forgot to mention, I even have some old Dugram models.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a Scope Dog or Votoms. Yeah, there's some cool models out there. They're hard to find a lot of those ones outside of Japan, though.
Yeah, that's the one downside to that. So, but post on the Facebook page what kind of models you like to do, if you have a set of paints that you like to use, and then as always, post your models.
Yeah, especially if you got a whole bunch of free time on your hands right now, given the state of things.
And also post where you get them from too. If there's some place we're missing. Obviously there's Amazon and eBay and stuff, but if there's some other place you like to buy your models from, let us know. Because I'm always looking for a better place to buy stuff.
Me too. All right. So guys, how about we move on to the ExFil?
Sounds good.
Let's ExFil out of here.
Well, let's finish the show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's ExFil out of here.
Let's ExFil out of here. All right. All right. We are now coming to the end of the show where we are to ExFil out. It was a good, nice little chat there, guys, about hobbying. Hobbying, as Brian said, is important.
And now is the time to hobby.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good to talk about how we build and paint. With the three of us, we have 3 different levels of styles of paint, which is very interesting,
Yeah. So I'm always on the lookout and happy to hear about new techniques and new directions I can start going to improve and get better.
Yeah, it's always good to watch tutorials, because even if you don't really use it, it gets into your psyche, and you tend to, all of a sudden you'll find yourself wet blending or edge highlighting or doing that kind of stuff, where it's just it gets into your, hey, I could do this now,
Yeah.
And the more you paint, the more techniques. I just do crazy stuff because it's I'll try stuff and see if it works. It doesn't turn out perfect usually, but it's different. I try to paint different,
And And these bigger models, it's easier to fix the mistakes after you tried something out anyways, too. So
yeah.
That's always a bonus. So, all right. Well, guys, stay healthy.
Yeah, you too.
Listeners, stay healthy. Don't do anything crazy. Definitely don't go out if you don't need to. Just
sit at home and paint.
Sitting as a healthcare worker, highly contagious. You might not get sick, but you have to think about the people you could be contaminating also on top of that.
Yeah.
That's your...
Go play Battletech.
That's right. Play video games. You're safe. Paint some miniatures. Put together some models. Watch lots of watch lots of TV shows. I plan to finish up. I plan to finish up Mospeada. That's going to be one of my missions. There's a lot of shows I have to watch. It's only got 2 weeks here. It might be hard.
All right, so let's call the end of the show. I've been Chopper.
I've been Brian.
And I'm still Rob.
And we will see you guys at the beginning of May.
That's right. And hopefully the world will be back to normal by then.
Exactly. So,
fingers crossed.
Once again, stay healthy.
All right. Night, guys.
Bye-bye.
This has been Mobile Armor Radio. Join our Facebook group by searching for Mobile Armor Radio. Find us on Twitter at @MArmorRadio. Find us on iTunes and visit our website, mobilearmorradio.podbean.com. Join us on the first of every month for more Mecha discussion.